friend of mine, while I was attending Rutgers, Newark, told me about this app called Vine. And he said that the parameter is you have to tell a story in 6 seconds, then a video loops. And I was kind of off the grid. I didn't really understand social media. Still don't. But I was attracted to that challenge of telling a story in such a short amount of time. And then it looped, which was perfect for music. The nature of the loop is perfect for a joke.
6 seconds is all it is?
6 seconds, yeah. So essentially, if you think about it, story structure perspective, it's 2 seconds per act. So you kind of have a setup, and you have the punch, and then you have a payoff, and then a loop. So I do music stuff, I do little characters, I do bits with my
puppeteering,
mom, the puppet stuff, and then the videos started getting traction and quickly took off, and I got a bunch of an audience on Vine that translated to other social media, to YouTube. I got directing gigs, scoring
Were you
gigs.
surprised by all this? That you were being able to do this on Vine? Was it something that you looked at like, I could do this. I could do something special. Oh, this is going to be great. But you had no expectations, really.
Correct. Yeah, and neither did anyone. Neither did Vine. They didn't. I don't think they realized what they had the niche community that was to follow. It was just meant to be a kind of a fun tool, and it turned into a phenomenon. And it was the first time that had ever been done. This was before there was TikTok, Instagram video. Yeah. It was the only places you could create were YouTube. And then this thing came about and kind of changed the ecosystem, the digital ecosystem of online creation. And I was surprised, of course. It was not intentional, but I wanted to make movies, and I wanted to make music for my movies from a very young age, as long as I could remember. I think I was like 6 or 7.
What's your favorite movie? Or what inspired you?
As a kid, I watched, I was a little too young, but I that's another thing. It was such a cultural, eclectic clash of films and music and TV. First film that I watched was probably Central Station, Central do Brasil, that I can remember.
Yeah.
And then shortly after, because they came out in the same year, is Life is Beautiful, Roberto Benigni.
What a beautiful
Jesus,
movie.
yeah.
I cry every time I see that movie.
Tell me about it. I cry thinking about it. And both films came out in the same year and in fact competed against each other in the Academy Awards. And my mom's a patriotic Brazilian and my dad's a patriotic Italian. So you can imagine, Italian won that year. My dad still talks about it. I think my mom made him move out for like 2 months because of it. The whole thing. Every time there was a World Cup, by the way, and it's Brazil and Italy.
Big
divorce. But they get back after.
So anyway, like you started doing this Vine stuff. You're putting things together. You're already by this point, early on in your life, you're thinking of making movies. You're thinking of making, like, this is all in your head. Mm-hmm. And had it started really off Vine?
Yeah. No expectations, just a cool place to create. And then I started getting a following. And then that's when the light bulb came. And I was like, if I could somehow use this as an avenue to get to where I really want to be, which is making movies, wouldn't that be something? So the audience came, brands started getting interested.
You're making good money.
Yeah. Making good money enough to move out to, actually, I moved out to Los Angeles because of a friend that I went to college with named Rami Youssef, who now has a show called Rami and is a great actor and creator. And he was on a Nickelodeon show at the time, and he was like, dude, you got to move to LA, like Rutgers, Newark, like this stuff is not, like, this is where we belong. So I followed his footsteps. And then I started doing the Vine stuff while his TV stuff started taking off, and we lived together for many years. And when we moved into a house together and we were both making solid money in different ways, that's when he started writing Rami and I started writing Musica.
What year was that?
2015.
2015.